capture this very exciting event.
Rallycross is racing on 3 different surfaces. Basically, you're racing on grass, on loose and on tarmac. At Mondello here we've got possibly 50% tarmac, 25% grass, 25% loose, which is not the most ideal surface. We should be really a third, but we're quite happy with what it is. The people that have come over, that have been at other circuits, the likes of John Welsh, John says we have a good circuit. It is a very fast circuit. It's not rough. There's very little accidents. I mean, we've never had any accidents at all, really. But it's possibly, just from the point of view of true traditional rallycross, it's probably just a little bit too much tarmac.
As rallycross grows, and certainly this year in Ireland, from what we've been reading, the rallycross has been going from strength to strength. As the spectators come in the gate, the facilities have been made a lot better. The circuit's tremendous to drive on. I think it's rather nice.
Somebody suggested, in fact, there's too much tarmac element in the circuit. Would you agree with that?
Well, there is and there isn't, you see. There's European tracks and there's what we call English tracks. The English ones are predominant towards tarmac racing. Maybe it would be nice if there was another tarmac bend or something like that, but you have to remember that although it is tarmac, by the time the dirt has gone halfway up the tarmac and halfway out the bends, that then makes it very, very slippery tarmac. So of course it's quite a nice even balance, isn't it?
My impressions are of a very professional club with a good grounding to organise something super in the future. They need the cooperation of the new landowner to build on the circuit to the recommendations which we're making.
Yes.
And I think they have the basis for a very good international event.
Now explain to us the system. You let how many cars out together?
We run 6 cars per race, Michael. They do, each race is over 4 laps, and the beauty about it is that as soon as one race is finished, the next race is ready to go. So you have no hold up. The spectators are not getting bored while they're waiting, especially because it's cold. I mean, we were very cold here yesterday. So the spectators don't like hanging around waiting for something to happen. The classes are decided by where they finish in their particular races, but at the end of the day we take the fastest 18 cars and we run an A, B and C final. And the points of the championship are awarded from 18 points down to 1. So if you win the A final you get 18 points, 17, 16 and so on. The championship this season has been extremely successful. We've had 127 cars register for the championship. At any one event we've had a minimum of 72. 72 we found is the ideal number to run. But we have run up to 90. At the December meeting we ran 92 cars in fact. We of the County Kildare Motor Club and the Carlow Car Club got together to run this championship about 4 seasons ago. Carlow have one date, they run the first date of the season, and we run the other 5 dates, which is an ideal number, the best 4 to count. We don't really think we could fit in any more because with the rallycross that goes on in Boyd's Quarry in the north and in Kirkeston, the new owners of Mondello Park tried to change it. First of all, I think they'd be very foolish because we have proved over the last 3 seasons that the most popular form of motorsport at Mondello Park has been rallycross, and our crowds prove that. Because you know, you've been here, you've seen the crowds we've had at previous events. I have never seen the grandstand full for a race meeting, but I have seen it full for rallycross. And we will be going all out to impress on the new owners. And after all, we at the Kildare Motor Club are part of the new owners. So we will be making our presence very much felt that, as far as we're concerned, rallycross is our #1 sport.
Are you going to get a European Championship status next year?
Well, we hope so. We have 2 representatives from, one representative from the European Rallycross Association, Tony Nisbet, who is the chairman of the association, who is involved with Liddon Hill. Tony is here today to overlook what is happening to see if it's going to be run properly. We also have a representative from FISA, from Sweden, who is over as well. Providing everything goes well, we know we've a lot to do. They have already been very helpful in pointing out various things that we would have to do before we would get our European round. But we don't feel there'd be any problems.
Well, there are regulations that lay down and stipulate the amount of tarmac and the amount of loose, and they must not have more than 50% of their circuit to be tarmac, and they do have that at the moment. They also have what we consider to be too fast straights and slightly dangerous straights, and we feel that by the insertion of an extra loose part in the circuit at the back of the paddock, they will overcome not only the safety problems but also the problems of not having enough loose. There are literally thousands of competitors in Scandinavia, thousands of cars of various shapes and sizes. The general idea in Europe is that you try and maintain cars that the public can identify with. There are slightly too many over-modified cars in Ireland at the moment, and international events would require cars that are recognisable more. If they were able to secure a European Championship round, and there's no reason they shouldn't if they are able to do the modifications which we recommend, then they would definitely receive a top-class entry, because you would see 20 supercars here for a European Championship round, all four-wheel drive supercars. Every top team has got 10 or 12 followers, and they all stay in hotels for days on end to suss out the situation, practice, and there will be hundreds and hundreds of people. So the decision we make is very important. It has to come up to the right standard before that happens. I'm here with a guy from FISA, which is the world governing body of motorsport. His job is to officially pass the event as being acceptable by FISA. My job is to pass the event for inclusion in the European Championship. And we're doing the same job using the same marking system, but when we're discussing everything together. We have to discuss with the organisers what we think they should do, and then we have to get some recommendation. And we have to break the thing down into a number of sections, those which need to be re-observed, those which need to be re-observed at another event, and those which can just be looked at, say, widening the track on the start line. I can come and see that. I don't need to see anybody racing on it. If it's something to do with their organisation, we have to watch them do it, because it's by way of rehearsal. So there may be a number of things that they may have to do at another they have to come back to.
The 1985-86 STP Championship was over 6 rounds, with 4 rounds to count, and the Larne driver Fred Crawford became the champion with his Escort. Today it's the international event which attracts attention, and in the C final, 6 cars go to the line, with the winner getting the last place in the grid for the B final. There's a marvellous selection of cars on the grid, with the Castrol Escort of Tom Farrell and Kevin Toomey's Barham Porsche making up the front row. But it's Limerick garage owner and hot rod racing expert John Maloney who shoots into the lead with his BDG engine Ford Escort. He's driving extremely well, having already cut his teeth in Rallycross at Mondello Park over the past 2 seasons. Navan's Tom Farrell is in second place with his Escort RS 1800, and next in line is Philip Armstrong with the Sunbeam Lotus. The crowd, the biggest ever for Rallycross at Mondello, shows just what the interest is like and is a tribute to the quality of the competitors. But of course the spring-like conditions help too. It's the final lap and John Maloney, despite an ailing engine, wins the C final. Tom Farrell comes home second after another solid drive, and Jimmy Peake from Northern Ireland in the 1.5 Mini snatches third in the run to the checker flag. Unfortunately, John Maloney's car is unable to make the B final. Just as he crosses the finishing line, the engine expires. And so 5 cars line up, headed by Liam Carey's Escort, Richard Dillon's Porsche, and the Escorts of Ron Hudson and Seamus Murphy. Again, it's over 4 laps. Lap 1, and the Richard Dillon Porsche 911 leads the charge through the dust. Liam Carey, another Ulsterman, is second with the Escort, and the Isle of Man visitor Ron Hudson is third. The build-up to the grand final is on. Again, the winner of this heat goes through. Dillon's lead is by no means secure. Liam Carey from Cushendall is ready to attack, and he's not getting away from Ron Hudson. Richard Dillon makes no mistake. Despite the pressure behind, he leads the field across the line and into the A final. Liam Carey and Ron Hudson fight it out for second, and so now the scene is set for the big race, the first international rallycross ever in this part of Ireland. The 6 cars lined up are all stars. They're led by the former British Grand Prix winner John Welsh in the 4-wheel drive Escort. Con Carey's Zack-Speed Escort is alongside him on the front row. Nigel Allen and Fred Crawford are involved with each other as they set off, and Ger Cregan from Carrick and Shannon causes a major surprise by nipping past John Welsh as he wrestles for gears in the first corner. And Cregan comes around leading midway through lap 1. John Welsh gets his act together and goes past Ger Cregan. Con Carey takes up 3rd place. Richard Dillon goes up to 4th, with Nigel Allen and STP champion Fred Crawford bringing up the rear. Crawford has been the most successful rallycross driver in Ireland this year, but the 4-wheel drive Escort of the British expert leaves them all trailing. From here on, it's only a matter of form, and John Welsh from Hampshire literally cruises home. Con Carey in the Zack-Speed Escort is second, and Richard Dillon, Ger Cregan and Nigel Allen are next in line. So Rallycross has come of age at Mondello. It's the motorsports success story of the decade. It's visually exciting and provides spectators and participants alike with non-stop action. Car control is vital. Sheer speed is the clincher. Today has been John Welsh's day. He adds the STP International to his British Grand Prix win of last year.
Obviously, we've had a very easy day. There's a couple of problems had on the first corner because you're too busy accelerating. You're thinking, oh, I'm going to get there first, and then it turns right. So then, big panic. But no, it's nice to have a meeting without any particular dramas, and at the same time as that, you know, we're not racing any other 4-wheel drive cars. So
how good a meeting was it?
Oh, it's a superb meeting because, all right, it's not so nice to see someone like myself blast off into the distance, but that's the same as watching a rally car virtually go down a rally stage on its own. But the rest of the lads in the Escorts and the Porsches do some really good racing all day long. So it's not just the quick cars, but the other cars, they're bloody quick as well.
Well, I think the International, if we get the permission and run it next year, I think if we bring over some more of the European people, I think the quality of the entry, I think we're going to get more crowds. I think it's a new form of motorsport that's relatively new to Ireland, and I think we just got to build and just go from there.
There's a big noticeable difference from when I come over last year and the year before. There was maybe 1 or 2 drivers that were quick, but what's happened now is that there's a very good 5 or 10 that are very, very quick, and it's the actual standards coming up, and you're also seeing the drivers who are coming in at the bottom, you know, so it's like a pyramid, the racing, and it's very, very strong in the top area and also in the bottom over here. I think it's very good.
And the reporter there was George Hamilton. By the way, that meeting at the weekend was the last at Mondello for some time, because now the RIAC Consortium and Martin Borain take over the circuit to refurbish it. It's expected that it'll be open again sometime perhaps at the end of May, and there is a projection that they may have the Leinster 200 motorcycle races there next, but we'll have to wait and see. We do look forward to seeing Mondello opened up, as I said, in its new state.